All right, all right, all right. There's quite a lot of breath in this one. It's uh, it's Tuesday, okay, and I'm hoping that Tuesday for you has been. What am I hoping Tuesday has been for you? Should I say routine? Is that good enough? Routine Tuesday, just normal, no ups, no downs, just steady. Is that good enough? Okay, I'm not quite sure. Today oh I wanted to tackle a difficult conversation that I opened the brackets to yesterday. But before we delve into that, let's maybe segue into it by starting here. You don't have to be the ideas that people have of you. I wish I knew that earlier. Because every single person that you're going to meet is going to have a different perception of you. And many times um, we are caught up in the pursuit of being the best um, fit for people's ideas. When people think us quiet and think us shy, for instance, whilst in reality it's just a lack of comfort with them, we tend, I tend, let me do that. I tend to I guess subconsciously even try to fit their framework and not disappoint it or upset it too much. It's been detrimental, really. But anyway, you don't have to be the ideas that people try to put on you because I'm finding myself in situations where the more I find myself, the more I express myself, especially in ways that people are not used to me, the more it's shocking to people and the more they try to push me back that other way. And it's interesting for me. It's interesting to see that people are far more in love with the ideas of you and who they believe you are than they are with you. And that is, I'm an evolving being, man. Maybe in my younger years I was quieter, more in my thoughts. Or maybe I've thought so much about what I want to think that now I'm in a space where I want to express, I want to talk, I want to act a little less along the lines. You get, for evolution, you get the word hypocrisy. It's like you have this solid state that you're supposed to be in, and and you're not supposed to change from it. Like you have this one way you should be, and never grow from it. Never take from any of the human experiences you have and change. Never change, because if you change, you're a hypocrite. And it's things like that that I guess historically for me have been like I've tried to be so consistent in my way of presenting myself. But the older I get, the more I realize, look, I'm interested in so many things. Like so many things. I'm interested in so many completely different things. Completely yeah, different things, like one second I'm in love with music, and then the next I'm in love with logic, and then the next I'm in love with um I don't know, lighting. For instance, next thing I'm passionate about. I have so many interests, and these interests give me a window into so many different perspectives. Even with the sorts of people that I hang out with, I because of the so many interests that I have such a diverse array of friends and acquaintances And at times you'll find me with my quiet friends and be like, wait, but you're so rowdy and all of that kind of stuff. And then you'll find me with my rowdy friends and then you'll be like, oh my gosh, but you're so quiet and all of that. And it's like, but this is how I segue into our conversation of the day. It's like the reason why this has always been such a difficult thing for me, this change and dealing with it and accepting it, is because of the loss that's associated with it. You know, you're not the same person anymore. Like, when that really dawned on me that I'm not the same, I'm not a child anymore, the responsibility came flooding in pretty quickly. But when that realization came in that I'm not the exact same person anymore, there was grief associated with it. Like, um, certain things that I used to do and be interested in, I find myself appalled by it. Certain things that I used to aspire towards, I don't have any interest in anymore. And that's okay because I'm a different person and I'm in a different season. Okay, so this loss that's associated with change, that's associated with growth for me, has been so difficult to deal with, so difficult to navigate, that it's like, for me it's like, okay, so how do I then piece myself together? Because that's what it feels like with all the change. It feels a lot like I've lost myself almost. Whilst in reality, I'm actually finding myself, you get? And it's like, okay, how do I deal with this? How do I deal with this? Um, 1 second. I am trying to see if we can share on this and have conversation live on air like that, and you guys can call in, and because people seem to be shy to chat in to send their texts, their chats in, so I'm gonna make it worse for you and call you guys. Like, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should randomly call people. You might be next. Okay, let me just today I'm looking to have one of the people that I respect the most on with us, as soon as I can confirm his availability. I wanted to share on this idea of loss, and that's the thing with this thing. It's like it's change, and it's such stark change that forces you to be a completely different person. And grieving is difficult because it feels like you're in a place that you might never get out of, and it's like the desire to hold on to who you were before the loss of a loved one, of a job, of a way of life, just loss in general. There's a desire there to be the exact same person you have always been, and it's difficult to accept. It's difficult to accept. I am going to, before I carry on here, I'm going to just introduce my brother, Pastor Prince. I'm gonna give him a call real quick, and let's see what we can share about here today. Let me quickly give him a call. I hope you all will be able to hear him too. Hello,
Hello,
bro.
bro.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. You can hear me.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, you were asking me what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk about loss and grief. It's a heavy topic today that I wanted to talk about. But it's
Mm,
like grief and loss.
Last and great.
Yeah, loss and grief and dealing with change, like big changes that happen in our lives, and how to deal with them.
Lost.
Loss as in
L-O-S-T.
no, loss as in LOSS.
Oh, okay.
Loss and grief, like losing someone, losing something, a big change in one's life, and you know how one can deal with it, and maybe the challenges one might face in that space. Oh, we seem to have lost connection here. While we wait for that to reconnect, that's that's my thoughts. Like the 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 pull, the desire, often when we are dealing with big changes in our lives, is to stay the same. And unfortunately, you are not the same person. We're not the same person. And whether this is with the job, or losing it, or with a change in scenario, maybe you've moved from a different country to where you are now. I can come up with so many examples that could be shocking. Some of them, like certain things, like we wouldn't even imagine experiencing a sense of loss from. But like, it's like, for me, this year, what has triggered these sorts of emotions the most has been like my sister getting married. Amazing, amazing, amazing thing. But it's like, it's brought so much change, like so much change. Let me see if we can get him back on the line while I talk about this. It's brought so much change, and the kind of change that it brought is unexpected. Hello, bro. Can you hear me?
Can hear you.
Yeah. It dropped out there. So that's what I was talking about just now. I was giving the example of like Scholar getting married, and the way we are used to things being, it's not like that anymore. She's not as
Yeah.
as accessible. Like, it's like it used to be just Scholar there, and you could show up, and anytime Scholar was there. But now she has her own life going on, and that change is slightly, it's quite something to get used to. So I don't know what your thoughts
Yeah.
are on that. So that's what we're sharing about.
So, what time is your stream?
Oh, network is pretty bad. I wish you were. This is probably also in the same line, because if you were closer, this would have been so easy. But you're all the way across the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can hear you now. I can hear you now. We actually are already alive. If you would like to share your thoughts and all of that.
Oh, okay. You're live?
Mm-hmm. We are live, yeah.
Great. Okay, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do I get to introduce myself?
Yeah.
Or
I gave a slight introduction of who you are, but it'll be appreciated if you still did introduce yourself.
Okay, so yeah, so my name is Prince Kambale, and I'm relative to Falu, and I'm involved in a Christian dom. I'm involved in the church leadership, and also currently I'm Christian.
Mm.
Yeah, so grief, I don't know. So I don't know if I should start with grief, but I think grief is something that does affect each of us at some point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think death is something that can't be avoided.
Mm.
But then, even though death has been happening so many years, we as humans have not gotten accustomed to that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm. That's a beautiful choice of word. It's a beautiful choice of word there with the word accustomed. We seem to have lost Prince again, but I will try to get him back on the line while I piggyback off of his choice of words, accustomed. That's what it is. It's this grief is caused by the fact that we are accustomed, used to a certain way of life and living, and find ourselves in a situation where everything your mortality in such a abrupt and disruptive way. You were still speaking, bro, before you dropped off, so I'm gonna let you continue your line of thought.
Okay. Yeah. So I was saying what my understanding of grief is, obviously grief the way I understand it is that it's trying to losing a loved one or someone we know. Yeah, like what I was saying is that grief is something that we're gonna have to deal with at one point or another. So my English is pretty bad, but
okay.
We as human beings have not gotten used to losing people that we love, we care about, we know. You know, and but I think the life change. They completely change, withdrawn. You know, they've lost everything.
Yeah.
So I think really for those that have not bounced back, I think it's more bounce back, because even the loved ones that have gone, I believe if they were looking down, they'd want them to live their life. You know. And I think at some point that and so that's grief. Now, loss again can be tied to death, but also what you were dealing with, what you're telling me, Falu. So we've got a sister. You know, we used to call her anytime. Probably even commanded to do something. but now you can't do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You can't do
it. And believe, and that's okay. We're not expecting a scripted.
Can I share a bit of my personal life?
Yeah. That's perfectly accepted. Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully, it's going to encourage someone. Yeah. Okay. So obviously, you know how I started school. So I went to Dankton Hood. Don't even ask me where Dankton Hood is.
Yeah.
It was next to Killarney Mall. Yeah, in Johannesburg. Then I think in 2005 we lost our grandfather. Yeah. So when we lost our grandfather, that's when I think they applied for me to go to Yeovil Community School. You know, and that's where I attended Scholar Gloria. We started attending. You guys were already attending Yeovil Community School. So in high school, I went to not Banato. I went to Afrocoms. Yeah, so I didn't go to the best schools. But then, I don't know if, to be honest, I don't know if you're aware of this. Me personally, I didn't finish school. Yeah, I don't know if that's something you're aware of. I didn't finish school, so I kind of stopped at grade 9. You know, I think that was the time that they were doing paperwork for me to come this side. Yeah. Okay. So obviously, I didn't complete school. My education level is grade 9, and when I came this side, according to this side, I think I was a little bit out, so I couldn't continue school. You know.
Yeah.
So I went to college. Yeah.
Mm.
After college, things came and passed and stuff like that, and so many things happen in life,
Mm.
But I think one thing about me is that I've never, regardless of the challenges that I've faced, I've never really, I don't know how to give up.
Mm.
Now I've failed so many times, and I also have got a lot of things against me that doesn't make me qualified. This guy hasn't finished school, hasn't done that and stuff like that, but I'm persistent. I fight. And maybe if there's anyone who's listening to me, then I want that person to have that spirit, to fight. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of adversity. There's going to be a lot of challenge, but fight. Fight even when you don't know if there is any victory, So I had one of my... So I currently work for a university. So one of our sister, I think Vincian, asked me, Prince, how did you get a job without a degree? Bro, they never ask you that question. How did you get that job without being qualified? How did you get that job without qualification papers? How did you get that money when you don't know how to do maths? So people are going to ask you things, but then this is one thing that school doesn't teach you. School teaches you how to read, how to write, but school doesn't teach you how to fight in life. And a lot of people who go to school, they're expecting that once I finish my matric, once I finish my degree, a job is going to be handed to me on a silver platter. That's not how life works, man. And that is why you find that people who dropped out of college, obviously we know, Mark Zuckerberg didn't, I don't know, maybe I was doing a PhD or somewhere there, but I don't know if he completed. But there are a lot of... Steve Jobs is a dropout, One thing that they had is that they had a fighting spirit. And it's not your education. Education gives you access to a door. It brings a door before you. But in order to enter that door, bro, you need a fighting spirit.
Yes.
And a lot of time for people who come from privileged background and stuff like that, they kind of rely on what they have. But those who don't have, they realize that I don't have the qualifications, I don't have the skill, I don't have this. I need to pace my own way. No, I don't know how I'm going to tie this with grief.
I was actually...
I don't know how I'm going to try this with grief and what. But I think the whole point of the message is that we need to have a fighting spirit, even in grief, even in grief, you can be so down, so discouraged. For example, let me give an example. Let's say, how can I put it? Let's say a breadwinner of the family dies. The whole family was relying on that person. The house to be paid, the bills to be paid, for the kids to go to school. Now the person dies, bro.
That's usually...
And there was no saving, no asset. What do people do? What do people do?
You survive.
Some people's life will completely end, bro. But what about those who've got a fighting spirit? They'll rise up. You find a way to survive. They'll find ways, bro. There's always a way. There's always a way. I think, if I'm thinking correctly, I think it's Chinese, whatever. I think the Chinese word for crisis has kind of a double meaning. In crisis, there's opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah.
In crisis, there's opportunity. Whatever we are going through in life, bro, there's always a way around. Maybe it may not be the place where you were, but there's always the second best. Yeah.
Perfect.
Look, we've lost our sister to some guy.
Some guy.
I can't insult him because he's our in-law. He's a nice guy. I don't know if he's listening. But if he is listening, man, I love you, bro. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say is that what? I can't speak to my sister the way I used to speak because I've lost her.
Yeah.
In a sense. But at the same time, I've also gained a brother.
There's that opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've also gained a brother. Yeah. Now, coming back to 2005, we lost our grandfather. It was a difficult time of our lives. I got the opportunity. I got the opportunity to go to Coventry. No, not Coventry. I'm in Coventry right now. To Yeovil Community School. Yeah. But then I met people that I'm still friends with up to today. I met people that have been a blessing. I met people that tell me what's right when I'm wrong, even up to today. Yeah. So in a way, there was a blessing out of it. Yeah.
So if I'm summing up what you are trying to put forward is that idea of the double meaning of crisis and that meaning opportunity as well, in the sense that in grief, in loss, there's an opportunity to grow and become someone that we were not before, someone better, someone stronger, someone happier even, unimaginable as it is. Like in that season, when we were dealing with the whole loss, it felt like something we would never really get over or never really come to full terms with. But now, years later, it's like the things that he taught us, the things that he would say to us, like the tight-knit family that he built, the principles that he built into us mean much more today than even while he was around, you know? It's like, I'm sure even like the older people in the family don't even know that we held on to the things that he said to us. They probably are under the impression that we've completely forgotten about him and everything like that. But the things,
I still have images of him, you know?
Yeah. That's
and bro, can I add something here?
Sure.
I'm gonna add this. I don't know if it's gonna help someone. You know, the only superhero that I know who was not made is Superman. Yeah, I don't know if you. I'm not a Marvel geek or whatever. It's amazing how I'm past that, but it's interesting. But the thing is, let's take an example of Batman. Yeah, Batman's parents were murdered. Yeah, out of a crisis, he became one of the greatest. Is it detectives?
We'll just call him a superhero. Yeah.
A superhero detective.
We'll just call him that.
And a lot of superhero movies, interestingly, you come to find that they were an experiment of a crisis. You've got Captain Marvel. She was exposed to some kind of radiation. Yeah. You have my favorite, Captain America. Syrup and frozen in ice. Yeah, so the point is, what I'm trying to say is what? Superheroes are not born, they're made. Yeah, so whatever you experience today, whatever you're going through, bro, it's going to make you a superhero. For people who need a superhero. There are people that need a role model. There are people that need a hand to get up again in life. And all your experiences are gonna make you that person who is needed. You know, and this is one of the reasons why we need to embrace our experiences. I know a lady, bro, God forbid this should happen to anyone. I know a lady that the father was sexually assaulting. Yeah. Now that's next level. Yeah. But this lady has become a woman that is encouraging a lot of women, sharing her life experiences, and people are finding hope. Yeah. People are rising up. So that's why I'm saying superheroes are not born, but they are made.
They're made, yeah.
And what are you experiencing? The crisis, the grief, the loss, the disappointments, the rejection, the fear. There's an opportunity for you to become a superhero.
Yeah. Nicely said there. Nicely said. I really like that, because that's actually the story arc of a hero, is that they experience some hard adversity in life, like they are crushed and have a mortal wound, emotionally at least. They are crushed in such a way, but they overcome it. But if you compare it with the villain's story arc, it's exactly the same. The villain's story arc and the hero's story arc are the exact same thing. They both...
But the villain has not overcome.
Exactly. They both experience a very difficult thing in their life, but the difference is how they dealt with it. Because the hero says, okay, this is my responsibility, and I have to be vulnerable with it. I have to be honest with it. But the villain says, everyone else, the whole world is to blame, and I'm going to make everyone else suffer. You see, the hero takes responsibility for his pain, and the villain takes that responsibility and exports it out into the world, you know?
Yeah. You know, like, I'm just going to add a little bit of the Bible. I'm not preaching, but just a little bit of the Bible. Now, one thing, you know, in the Greek language, if you look in the New Testament, really, the word perfect, a lot of times is not referring to perfection. It's referring to maturity. Yeah?
That's interesting.
Because in all honesty, there's no perfect person. There's no person without a sad story. Yeah, Christ is a human experience. Yeah? And that's what makes us human beings. Yeah, but we need to be more than human beings living in crisis. Yeah, we need to be mature. Now, when I'm talking about maturity, I'm not talking someone with gray hair.
Yeah, age.
Yeah, I think a lot of time that's the picture. Oh, you're mature. No, we're not talking about that. In South Africa, you call them go-go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not speaking about that. Yeah, we are speaking about someone who is out of adversity has risen up. Yeah. And that's a mature person. In other words, I can even say that's a complete person. Yeah. They've been complete. So, you know, they've done they were down and they went over. They completed the journey of adversity. They completed the journey of fear. They completed the journey of what? And that's why they are mature.
Nice.
Yeah, and you know what I'm picking from your show, because I think I kind of know that you've got a heart of helping people. You know, giving them directions and hope. Yeah. And I believe that a lot of young people, they should have hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's very important for young people to have hope.
Mm.
And in all honesty, I think in our generation, we are facing a lot of things, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We probably faced more things than the previous generations.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think
we are on the brink of World War III.
Yeah. I think the previous
faced
generation might disagree, you know. They might disagree just a little bit.
I know they might disagree, but bro, we
Yeah.
are facing a lot of things.
Yeah.
Because look, okay, let me put it this way, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of the big change that one of the catalyst, or I don't know if I'm gonna put it, but one of the big difference is that what we've got globalization.
Yeah. True.
So everything is interconnected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the previous generation, yes, they did have some kind of connection, some kind of exposure to other parts of the world, but they are not as interconnected as we are.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
We are being bombarded by a lot of negative information in 30 seconds.
Ah, yeah. The infinite scrolling and all of that.
Yeah, everything. We are being exposed to a lot of things.
Mm.
You know, even for our beautiful ladies, they think that they're not beautiful. Because they're going to see a fake image on Instagram, on Facebook, and so on. I wish I'm as beautiful as this. Yeah.
True.
So you're into photography, yeah?
I am, yeah.
you know one thing I learned about photography, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know much about photography, but I know that sometimes when you're taking a photograph, there need to be light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
So once you take a picture, you probably start working on that image in Photoshop or whatever software, making sure all the colors are okay and stuff like that, making sure all the angles are fine and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
pictures.
So a picture try to remove the human crisis. Yeah. But for our sister, that's what makes our sister beautiful. Yeah. Not edited, not having light on.
Yeah. Just the way she is.
Know?
Bare.
Even our guy.
Yeah.
You know, they'll probably see on TikTok a guy having
6 packs.
I know someone here who was wearing 2 watches. And I don't even have a single watch, bro.
That's slightly extra to be wearing two watches. Is he going to tell 2 different times?
What risk, man? You've got gold and silver.
Yeah. Is it because he's living in 2 different time zones, or what was the logic there?
I don't know. Gold and silver, man, showing that he has money. But the thing is, a lot of us, I'm like, oh man, probably I can't get a lady to like me. You know, I don't have that BMW. You know, I don't have that. I don't have this. I don't have that. I think by allowing those things, you disqualify yourself. Yeah. So.
Did we lose Prince just now? In the middle of his spectacular. I think you're back now, huh? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. So I was gonna say, well, next time if you do want me to talk, I think maybe we're gonna arrange so I call you directly. Yeah.
Okay.
We avoid the network stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I've been talking much. I don't know.
No. That's the point to having someone who's a guest speaker on the conversation. It's to get your point of view, because I have been sharing the exact same way you're feeling. I've been feeling like I'm sharing way too much of my own opinion instead of being able to share with people also what other people's points of views are on the issues that I have certain views on, because the key thing is to share our differences and celebrate those differences in a way that isn't destructive, you know, in a way that allows each of us to grow from the other. Just as we were complaining about the network connection, Prince is all the way in on the other side of the world in Great Britain. So it's quite difficult to have this conversation. I think we might just wrap it up here if you're still hearing me, Prince, because we have drawn, yeah, we've drawn quite a lot from what you've shared with us, from the superhero arc and the fact that superheroes are made, they are not born, they are made, and it's the adversity and the difficult seasons in our lives that make us into superheroes. And also you sharing your own story and teaching us about a fighting spirit and fighting through the difficulties and adversities that we might face in life. All of this has truly been appreciated. I really appreciate you spending your time with us this evening. And look, you are always welcome on this on this space, in this space.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. I really appreciated your point of view, really appreciated your encouragement, and I hope that people can draw some encouragement from this one. Obviously, because we had Prince here. Prince, as you might have been able to tell, is one of the more long-winded types of people. He's a preacher, okay? So expect him to have a long conversation. Just in case you're used to like 15-minute conversations here, when we have guests on, just know this is going to go far longer than 15 minutes. And it's been interesting, okay. Really. It's been interesting. I guess
thank you, man.
If you are open to it, we can do this again tomorrow and maybe continue in a more free space.
Anytime.
Definitely. Yeah. I'll appreciate that. I will let you know what people ask me, what people want to hear about, all of that. I will let you know all of that so that we can maybe answer some questions. And if you are listening in here now, I would appreciate you dropping in some questions, and Prince will gladly answer them. As mentioned, Prince is an ordained minister. He's a pastor. He is a missionary. He has a lot of wisdom and a lot of experiences to draw from in answering and giving some responses to some of your questions. And me, I am just Falu, and I appreciate you all tuning in. And this was exactly what I'm hoping this builds up to, where people can come in and share their experiences, and let's all bring it back to when we were just human beings and it was okay to think and feel and experience whatever we're experiencing. This was great. This was great, really. Again, Prince, much appreciated for your time. I guess we'll see you in the next one. You guys stay well. Happy Wednesday.